What's up, YouTubers? So before we get started with this video on Get Up, they're going to be talking about the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers and how they have opportunity to win the NFC North if they win this weekend. So let's see what they have to say about that.
I'm looking at the whole group here. Does anyone want to say this morning Aaron Rodgers has taken the lead in the MVP race?
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll probably have to go with Patrick Mahomes. Maybe.
for sure. I will. Can my hand get in there?
Go ahead,
for sure.
Danny.
Yeah, I've felt for a couple weeks now that it's been Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. It's just kind of in lockstep, right? Like one by one, I felt like Aaron Rodgers has been performing equally, if not better, with a little bit less to work with than Patrick Mahomes does. But the day that Mahomes has yesterday, and then Aaron has his afternoon, he's got to be the leader right now. I mean, he's got a better QBR. He's got more touchdown passes. He's got a better touchdown to interception ratio. His team is winning. He's doing everything he wants with the football whenever he wants. And so that combination of him and Davante Adams has been absolutely unstoppable. I'm sitting here saying today, Aaron Rodgers is the leader for the MVP race in the NFL.
Okay.
So I understand where it's coming from with that, but I think you might be living in the moment. A couple people might be living in the moment because last week Patrick Mahomes had a bad game, if you want to call it that. So he went 24 for 34, and I think somehow 315 yards. He threw for 2 touchdowns, and he threw 3 picks. Those 3 picks are huge, even though they still won. And Aaron Rodgers won last week too. So I think people might be living in the moment for that because I think Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes are pretty much neck and neck. So let's take a quick look at their stats for this year. So Patrick Mahomes threw for 4,208 yards. That's first overall for QBs. He threw for 33 touchdowns. That's third overall for quarterbacks. He threw 5 interceptions. That's fifth overall for quarterbacks. And mind you, this past weekend he threw 3 interceptions. So that made if it wasn't for that, he would have been higher on that list. And Patrick Mahomes' QBR is 84.7. That's second overall for quarterbacks. So that's pretty darn good. Let's take a quick look at Aaron Rodgers' stats real quick for this year. So Aaron Rodgers threw for 3,685 yards. That's third overall for quarterbacks. He threw for 39 touchdowns. That's first overall for quarterbacks. He threw 4 interceptions. That's third overall for quarterbacks. And his QBR is 84.9. That's first overall for quarterbacks. So you could say that Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers are pretty much neck and neck stats-wise, so there's not really a separation there. I'd have to go with probably the record. You know, what are the Kansas City Chiefs, like 12-1 at this point? So I don't know. I might have to go with Patrick Mahomes, even though on the other hand, Aaron Rodgers is doing more with less with Adams and Jones and all that. So I don't know. Let's continue.
Perhaps more importantly, though, Ryan Clark, the Packers are the leader as we speak in the NFC standings. Are they, in your opinion, the team to beat in the NFC?
No, they aren't. No, they're a lot closer to that team this year than they were last year because of the way that Aaron Rodgers is playing. But I still don't believe in this defense. I still don't believe when you play against teams like the Los Angeles Rams or the New Orleans Saints, once they get Drew Brees back, who will have running backs that they're comfortable giving the ball to, that will have game plans that understand we're going to try to exploit things that the Green Bay Packers don't do well. I think they'll have tough times against those teams in meaningful football games late in January. But when you look at this Packers team, when you think about the way that Aaron Rodgers is playing, the synergy with Davante Adams, obviously Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams in the backfield, they're different offensively. I think they're better prepared to compete in some of those high-scoring games, but I still have to see this defense do more. I still want to see this defense dominate at some point. And obviously when you have an offense like this that can make those plays, you don't have to be a shutout defense, but you have to make plays in critical moments, and I have yet to see that from the front of this team against good competition.
Quickly.
So I think the Green Bay Packers can probably hang with anybody. I wouldn't say that they're above and beyond everybody else. So again, just like last year, I like to keep a few teams packed up together because they're that bad. So I mean bad as in good. So you have the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, you have the New Orleans Saints. You never count out Drew Brees, even though they have some problems. Seattle Seahawks, even though they have 4 losses, I would never count out Russell Wilson. He was for the longest time my leading runner for MVP. So there's a couple of teams in there that I would not count out as being ballers. And I think Green Bay Packers they'll be okay. They're definitely in the running.
What do you see? How about, do they have enough defense?
Yeah, look, I know where Ryan's coming from on this, but I think, and I've seen this team getting better and better defensively. It's not by huge strides, but they are making strides. And look, do I see things through rose-colored glasses? Probably, because I got 2 of my boys out there coaching. So
it's, you got boys everywhere, right?
You know what I mean? I do, but these are my guys. Like, Mike Pettin and Mike Smith, absolutely. But I do see them getting better. And here's what's scary. When they get ahead of you, they do have the athletes in the back end and the pass rushers up front to close out games. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're the best team in the NFC.
There was a stretch of the season where they were just getting run on.
Yeah, so I don't know about that. I would say that about the NFC. And as far as the MVP voting between Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, I think I'd like to split those teams up in by divisions, AFC and NFC, because, like I said, those guys are neck and neck. And to be comparing them for being MVP between those two, I'd have to go probably with the record. Like I said, the Kansas City Chiefs are, 12-1? And, Aaron Rodgers taking care of business too. But, that record means a lot. That's at the end of the day, that's all that matters is your record. And as far as their stats, they're both neck and neck. So the only thing that I can differentiate would be the record. So I don't know. Let's continue.
To the tune of enormous numbers. That hasn't really been the case. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I think that the Packers are the only team in the NFC that has two things. One, they have a coach that schemes up guys to get open. Like, to win in the NFL, to win a Super Bowl, you've got to have that. You've got to have the scheme and the coach that schemes guys open, that gets easy throws for your quarterback. Matt LaFleur does that on a consistent basis. And then they also have a quarterback that makes those one guy on the planet type of throws. They've got to make those 4 to 5 jaw-dropping throws a game. Aaron Rodgers has that. And so you're looking at, they're the only team in the NFC that has that coach that can do that, but then also the quarterback that, like, when guys are covered, it doesn't matter because he can just make those perfect throws. They're the only team in that conference that can do that. The Chiefs and the Bills are the only team in the NFL that can match that as well. So they're one of 3 teams in the league that has that combination, but they're the only team in the NFC. That's why I think they're different. Like, in 2020, I think that's different in the